Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at my December and holiday doll and book haul and some of my favorite things for the month of December. So first of all, I just want to say thank you guys so much for whoever joined me on my Holiday Christmas Countdown series that I did during the month of December. That was the first time I ever did anything that had to do with like daily videos or daily vlogging, and it was a lot. It took a lot out of me. Luckily, I had foot surgery in the beginning of the month, so I had a couple weeks off from work. I go back to work in a couple days, so it really helped me be able to make those videos. So anyway, let's get started. So I remember in my November haul, I said, I'm not really going to get that much during December because I have to budget and Christmas shop and buy for other people and all of that. And I have to remind myself that December is not the month that's easy to not buy stuff because so many things go on sale, and I found so many things on my wish list at a reduced price that I did purchase a few things for myself before Christmas. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys what I got. So now the first two things I got weren't actually on sale, but they finally popped up at their normal price, and they were the new wave of Looks dolls. So here's the first one. This one is number 7, and she's really cute. I'm really glad to find her. And then the other one I got was number 8, who is the tall blonde one, and she is just absolutely beautiful. She has such a pretty face. I love her. She's so unique. So I was really happy to find them. I found mine both on Walmart for their regular retail price of $20, which was great. Okay, so the next thing I bought was one of the Barbie extra dolls. This one, I don't know if she has a number associated with her, but this is the one with the skipper face mold. She has the blue hair and she comes with a bunch of different accessories. So I had been wanting her for a while, but she was sold out on Amazon, so I was trying to find her in Target or Walmart, and I did finally find one in Walmart, a different Walmart than I usually go to. So I scooped her up just because I had been having trouble finding her online. So I have her to add to my collection, and I really love her as well because I love the skipper face mold and I love this beautiful pastel blue hair. So really happy to add her to the collection. And then I also found this doll. She's just like a really basic Barbie. I think they're called the Glitz dolls or something like that. I can't remember. I'll put the name of the actual title of what this doll is in case you guys want to look for her, but she has the dimples face mold, which I really love, and I just wanted to add one to my collection. I think the dress is really beautiful, and I'll probably put her on a made to move body. So I purely got her for her face. She was really cheap. I found her on eBay. Another doll I found on sale at Walmart, and I was having trouble finding her online as well, was the Barbie Careers doll for 2021. I don't normally collect these. I don't have any, I don't think, actually. But this particular year, I liked her because of her pastel blue hair. I thought she was really cute, and I hope to put her on a made to move body as well. I just really thought she was cute. So I got her. So I also got 2 of the Rewind dolls. I got the one with the Steffi face mold, which was really great. I was having trouble finding her online before, and I found her on Walmart, I think, walmart.com, for on sale for $24. I think normally they're a little pricier than that. But I found her on sale, and she has the beautiful Steffi face mold, which you guys know I love. And she's totally 80s, and I am just in love with this line. So I knew ahead of time I wanted to collect them all, and when I saw them on sale, I just couldn't resist. And then here is the other one I got. She has the Shani face mold, and she's absolutely adorable. So really glad to have these 2 in my collection. Now I just need to get Barbie. Hopefully I'll find her on sale as well. And these are so cool. Their packaging is amazing. They're in the shape of a VHS, which is just so cool. I love that. Next, I got one of the Rainbow High dolls that I was missing from Wave 2, and I finally found her on sale at Walmart. I've been seeing her for ages. She goes in and out of stock on Amazon, but this is the Stella Monroe doll, and I just needed her to complete Wave 2, so I'm really happy to have her finally. And I'll be opening her up shortly. And then lastly, I sold my limited edition numbered jet. I accidentally got number 12 out of 1,000 of these special limited edition ones. So I sold her on eBay after I found this one on Amazon, and this one was on sale for about $30. So I was really excited to get a regular one for cheap, for, you know, almost half off, because I do wanted to take her out of the box, and I didn't want to keep my limited edition one when I knew I wasn't going to be when I knew I wanted to take her out of the box. So really happy to have a regular one in my collection that I can unbox. And I was really happy to sell Jet because I got a really good deal. All right, I sold her for a great price, and I don't have it in this room with me, but what I bought with the money I earned from Jet is the limited edition Disney designer Ariel doll, which I was kind of on the fence about, but I saw some beautiful photographs of her out of the box, and I knew that if I didn't get her, I'd regret it. Ariel is one of my favorite Disney princesses, just from a nostalgic point of view. She is the first Disney princess that I ever saw in the movie theaters. I remember I was like in 5th grade when my aunt took me and my brothers and sister to see The Little Mermaid, and I'm rambling, but I love Ariel. So I did get this doll, and I'm excited to take her out of the box. And like, I'm not like a huge fan of her little wing headpiece with all the pearls coming down, but I think I've seen pictures of her restyled and she's stunning. So really happy to add that doll to my collection. And I haven't bought any limited edition dolls in so long, but I was really happy to add Ariel. All right, so now we're gonna move on to a couple of the dolls that I got for Christmas. All right, so this isn't really a doll, but I did get another one of the Disney Enesco figures to add to my collection. And this one is Snow White. I haven't had a Snow White yet. And this is part of the Couture de Force collection from the Disney store. I think you can also find these in Hallmark and Amazon a lot of the times. But I really wanted to get a Snow White. There have been a couple releases before this one that I missed out on, and she's always so hiked up on the secondary market. So when I saw that they made another Snow White one, I had put her on my wish list, and I ended up getting her for Christmas. So she's really beautiful. Here's a closer look. If you can see, I know she's kind of washed out, but there's a look at her beautiful painted face. I just love these figures. This is like how big she is compared to my head. And I always think they're really well done. They have such beautiful like movement and just gorgeous. So I was really happy to add her to my collection. I only need a couple more. I want to try to get one of each princess so far that they have. And then I also got the Barbie Collector Stony Clover doll, which I was really happy to have. And she's nice because she's on an articulated body, and her clothing and accessories are really cute. So I was really happy to add her to my collection. I think she's really cute. I love her pastel colors and her theme. Another doll I got, I'm going to be doing probably a review on her, so I'm not going to take her totally out of the box, but I got my second ever Blythe doll from official Blythe doll from Junie Moon, which is a Japanese doll company that is an authorized seller of Blythe dolls. So this is a collaboration between Junie Moon and Dear Darling Doll Fashions. And I bought her on a pre-order, so it was a Christmas present to myself. And this one is called Memories of 20 Years. And I'll put a picture here of what the actual doll looks like. And I just loved her pink hair. So I sporadically do check Junie Moon's website every once in a while. I only have one Blythe doll that I've ever purchased. And it was many years ago. It was back in like 2015 it was 2014 actually, when I first started collecting dolls. And that was the very first doll I purchased as an adult collector. So Blythe dolls are really special to me. I just haven't added a lot to my collection because the authentic ones are very expensive. I know you can get the other Blythe dolls from AliExpress, which I have been meaning to do. There's a ton of really cute ones, and they usually come on articulated bodies. So I do want to build on my Blythe collection a little bit, and I probably won't be buying the real ones unless there's one that is just amazing that I love. But anyway, I was really excited to add another Blythe doll to my collection. And then the last doll I got for Christmas, this was a Christmas gift. And this is another Disney limited edition doll. And again, I haven't bought any Disney limited edition dolls for at least over a year. I've skipped a lot of releases. So it was fun to kind of like do this again and have the surprise of opening one again. But I ended up getting the 50th anniversary Cinderella doll that came out. And she's actually sold out pretty quickly, even though she's a limited edition of 10,000. She sold out and then she came back in stock a few times. So luckily I just happened to check the website at the right time and I was able to get her. So this was another Christmas gift to myself. And this is what she looks like. So she's really elegant and beautiful. I think there were some mixed reviews. Some people really didn't like her and some people really do like her. So Cinderella is probably my all-time favorite Disney princess to collect. So I was so happy when she came back in stock and I was able to get her as a Christmas gift to myself. All right, so now we're going to get into the second half of the video. If you were just here for the doll stuff, then thank you so much for watching. So now I'm just going to talk to you about a couple books I got for Christmas and then some really good things I've read this month, and then wrap it up with some good shows or movies that I've seen in the month of December. So I only bought 2 books for myself this month. And the first one is called A Magical New York Christmas by Anita Hughes. And I got this at Target. So this one I haven't actually read yet, but it looked really cute. I'm a sucker for Christmas books. I'm a sucker for New York City at Christmas time. It's my favorite place to go. And so I'm hoping I can get to this. If I'm still in the mood to read Christmassy stuff into January, I hope to read this as well. Otherwise, I'll save it till next Christmas. And then my husband got me this beautiful copy of Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And I have not read anything by Leigh Bardugo yet, but I know that she's very popular in the YA fantasy world. So I'm looking forward to reading this series. This is a beautiful edition. It's a collector's edition. It has this shiny red stuff on the front. Here's a look at the spine, which is beautiful. And then the back has this gorgeous picture of a crow. And then the pages are all painted red, which is stunning. The end pages have a gorgeous map on it. And you guys know that I collect books. Well, if you don't know, I also collect books as well. I love to read and I love collecting beautiful editions of books. So those are the 2 books that I got for the month of December. And then I just have to show you this. This is so cute. I got this for Christmas as well. This is a calendar. It's a Bob Ross calendar. And I love Bob Ross. I mean, who doesn't love Bob Ross? But it's so cool. There are so many beautiful pictures in his style of painting. They're all his paintings. So I had one last year and I got one again for Christmas this year. So love Bob Ross. I just wanted to add that in there. So as for my reading this month, I didn't get a ton of reading done. I did get some done. All right, so for the month of December, I read 4 books. I mean, 3 technically, but I'm counting 1 extra one. I'm reading 2 books ongoing that aren't finished yet. They're both part of my reading challenge that I started this year, where I'm trying to read the 100 greatest novels of all time. So I'm still on number 100. I have not gotten very far at all, but number 100 is called Clarissa by Samuel Richardson. And that is a classic that was written in the 1700s, and it's like 1,400 pages long. So it's really long. It's really dense. So the material you're reading is it takes a while to get through it and process it. So that's taking me a long time. So I'm reading a little bit of that each month that I can get to. And then another book in that list that's another long one that I'm only reading in little pieces is the Bible. So the Bible was one of the greatest books, 100 books of all times. So those are 2 ongoing books that I'm reading. And then the 4 that I completed this month are these ones. So I read 3 fiction and 1 nonfiction, and out of the fiction, 1 was a children's fiction book, but it's so good that I wanted to share it with you guys. 1 was a general fiction, sort of holiday themed. You could kind of say romance, but not really. And then the 3rd one was a literary fiction book. So the children's book that I read is called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. So this book is pretty popular. It's a bestseller. It's by Charles Mackesy. I think that's how you say his name. And it is written in a really interesting style. I think it would be hard for a child to read this. I think it is definitely meant for an adult to read to their children. And it's just, I found it at the flea market for like $1. And it's, so like it's written in cursive. This is just the opening page. It's not, you know, like this the whole way through. But it has these beautiful pen and ink illustrations, and it's written in this like beautiful, beautiful cursive, which is a little bit, I mean, it's pretty clear to read, but if you're not used to reading cursive, you're going to have a hard time. But it is just the most beautiful, warm hug of a children's book. It has such a good message. It just talks about, you know, loving yourself. It's okay to ask for help. It's just so sweet. Oh my gosh. I really highly recommend this book if you have kids or grandkids or nieces or nephews that are young. I read it to my 9-year-old and she really, really, really liked it. And she wanted to keep the book and read it more and more. So it's very comforting. It talks about, you know, loving yourself, not comparing yourself to others, you know, how you are enough just as you are. You don't have to be this amazing, like grandiose person to be worthy of love. And it was just so good. I can see why it has gotten to be very popular. So that was one I just wanted to mention that I really recommend. I gave that 4 stars. It was just really cute. Then the next book I read was a book called Love Wins by Rob Bell. This was my nonfiction book of the month. And this book I gave 3.5 stars to. It is a bestseller. You guys have probably heard of it or may have heard of it. And it's, I had first listened to this on audio through my library app. And I really, really liked it on audio. I think Rob Bell is an incredible speaker. That's what he does for a living. So reading an audiobook that he wrote was really natural. He was the actual narrator of the book. And I usually listen to audiobooks while I'm working, so I don't often get the entire book when I'm listening because I'm busy doing work. But I liked it enough where I wanted to get the physical copy from the library and read it to see if I could, fill in the gaps to what I missed while listening to it. And, it was pretty good. I actually enjoyed listening to it a little bit better because I thought the writing was okay. I mean, it was really good for somebody that isn't, he's not a trained writer. Writing isn't his initial career. So I thought it was good in that aspect. He uses a ton of questions in the writing, like to get you thinking. It was almost overkill though, so that's probably one criticism I have. It was like, da 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 da, what would you do with that? Does Jesus do this? Does Servo do that? But it would be like 10 of those questions in a row. And when you're reading it, you're just like, okay, when are you going to say something that I can absorb? But overall, I really liked his ideas and the message he was trying to get across, kind of talking about how love really is the answer, no matter how you can interpret things, or, he did refer to a lot of biblical passages, and since I'm reading the Bible as well for that book challenge, that was kind of interesting to hear some of his interpretations of that, and just to not take things so literal. And he really challenged people to ask questions and, get to the true meaning of what's going on and what life is about. And so I think that if you're somebody that has kind of questioned religion a little bit, or the Christian faith in general, and you have some criticisms about it, I think you would really like this book. So the next book that I read this month was a book called There, There by Tommy Orange. And this is a book that is written by a Native American man. It was his very first novel. I believe it was his debut novel. And just saying that alone, I'm going to tell you, it was an incredible book. I gave it 4.5 stars, which means it's a favorite book of the year. And it focuses on telling the stories of Native culture in an urban setting. So oftentimes here in the US, there's a lot of stereotypes going around about Native people and, reservations and living off the land. But we don't really hear the stories ever of Native American people living in an urban setting and what their stories are like and what it feels like to be somebody that comes from a culture that was treated like shit for a long time and repressed and just taken everything away from them. And I really, I wanted to read this during November, during Indigenous Heritage Month, but I didn't get a chance to. But I really, really enjoyed this book a lot. And the setup for the book is that it almost felt like short stories because it talks about 12 different characters, all of Native American heritage, different forms. Some people are 100%, some people have one Native parent and one white parent. And it tells, each chapter focuses on a different character. So I think there's like 4 women, and there's like the rest of them are men, and they range from a 14-year-old all the way up to an older, person in their 50s. As you read, you see how these characters are connected, which is really cool how it unfolds. Ultimately, they all have the same end goal. They're making their way to this annual powwow located in the city of Oakland, California. And just the beautiful writing. It was absolutely beautifully written. I really enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the stories. Some of them were a little difficult, and if you're triggered by guns or drugs, like that might not be the book for you, but it does get into a little bit of darker themes. But I think that it was really important to read these stories and get a perspective that I've never had before. So another interesting part about this book is that it's written in different points of views. So some of the characters are written in the first person point of view, and then some of the characters are written in a third person point of view. But then when you come back to the character in a different chapter, they may have started in the first person, but then they're in this third person. So that was kind of weird. The other thing is that it was also written, there was one section that was written in the present tense, which is not my favorite. I don't like reading books that are like written in the present tense. It's weird to me. I don't know. But somehow I felt like it did all flow together, and just the ending and how everybody sort of is connected, and the last page or two was absolutely beautiful. So again, I gave this book 4.5 stars. It was beautifully written. I loved it. There were some criticisms from different reviewers saying that they had a hard time getting into it, but ultimately everybody loved the end and the beautiful message in the end. I really liked it, so I recommend that book. And then the third book I read for the month of December, my only holiday themed book I got to, was called The Christmas Shoes by Donna Van Leary. I don't know if I said her name right. But I gave this book 4 stars, and it was the first book in her Christmas Hope series, which I think has about 10 books in it, and they're really short. So the one I read was less than 200 pages. It was very beautifully written. I really like her writing style. I'd never read anything by her before. And this was based on a very popular song here in the United States called The Christmas Shoes. And the premise of the book, it's kind of a dual timeline. It tells a story of this middle-aged guy named Robert, who's a very successful attorney, and he has a wife and 2 little kids, and his marriage is basically falling apart because he devotes everything he is and has to work. He provides them with a beautiful home and anything they could want financially, but he's not emotionally there in the marriage. And you kind of see how his marriage is slipping away. And then the other timeline talks about this other little family who, they're lower middle class. They don't have a ton of money, but it's a young couple who have an 8-year-old son and a little girl who's maybe like 1 or 2. The woman, the character in the story, Maggie, she comes down with ovarian cancer at a very young age. She's like maybe 30, and she's on hospice. And I don't want to give too much away, but it is such a beautiful story. I mean, if you want a good cry, read this book. I was weeping. For me, maybe because I have 2 small kids, I'm a mom, and just putting myself in someone's shoes that, when you know that your illness is terminal and you're not going to be there to watch your kids grow up, and I'm going to cry just talking about it. But it's just the love between a mother and her child and vice versa, and this loving husband. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Oh, so that was really good. I mean, it has a good happy ending. But it's a tearjerker. So that was really good. I give that 4 stars. So those were that's my reading wrap up for the month of December. I hope you guys didn't mind that I kind of got into the books a little bit more this time. And now I just wanted to tell you guys about just some of the things I've been watching for the month of December. So on Netflix, I have been watching a series called Virgin River. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that before, but it's really good. It tells a story of this young nurse. She's a nurse practitioner and a midwife who has gone through some things at home. She's from Los Angeles, but she moves to this small, tiny town called Virgin River up in Northern California to join the practice of this doctor who is kind of getting towards the age of retirement, and he's kind of overwhelmed and needing some help with his practice. So she moves up there to kind of get away from it all. And you know, the characters are really good in this. It's a drama, but it's not too heavy, so it's pretty easy to watch. And I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm a little bit into that. And then I am also watching on Disney Plus one of the Marvel series called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I'm a little late to the game on this one. I know it came out a while ago. I love Marvel though. I love watching Marvel movies. I love the whole universe. I'm a huge Marvel fan. My husband and I together, we enjoy watching those movies and shows. So I'm only into that a few episodes. It's pretty good so far. It's a little harder to get into than, say, WandaVision, or I haven't watched Loki yet, or there's another one I think that's coming out. I don't know. I have so much to catch up on, but I'm really enjoying that as well. And then the other thing that took up a lot of my TV viewing, and again, I had foot surgery, so I'm still in a cast and I still have to force myself to sit on the couch. So this has been awesome. Just like allowing myself to watch TV. So I watched a total of 11 Hallmark Christmas movies this season so far. I have them all DVR'd so I can continue to watch well into further months. And I would say my favorites that I've seen so far is one called Christmas Town, The Christmas House 1 and 2, A Holiday in Harlem, An Angel for Christmas, Angels and Ornaments, and A Royal Queen's Christmas. So those have been so much fun to watch. I did watch a couple that were like, not that great, but those are ones that I really recommend if you're ever able to watch them. They're just really cute and cozy, and I love the characters and I love the stories, and they make me cry and they make me smile. So that's been another huge part of my month. So that about wraps it up. That was a lot. Sorry, you guys. I hope you don't mind me gushing about all the things I enjoyed this month. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And I would love to know if you guys got any dolly or book or whatever your favorite gift to yourself was this month, or gift that you got from another person, or something you gave somebody else. I would love to know if you read anything good, if you have any book recommendations, if you have any TV show recommendations or movie recommendations. Definitely let me know in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.